It's not his fault, really. If we had been scoring plenty of goals like the girls, they won't be asking us what will be happening. But on the strength of all that Oyin said, I think let's just take it one game at a time.
Yes.
Let's not rush. But it looks everything is just working to plan for these guys to reclaim. They said they were going back to reclaim the trophy and Cosmos. It looks like they're on course.
Yeah, they're on course. I would like to go back in history. 4 years ago, we had all the shenanigans and all the problems administratively with the Super Eagles and all that. But then, it was the Super Falcons that made us smile at the end of the year. Actually went with a team that had already, they did not win the African Women Championship in 2008. And, went to South Africa and we actually won. It was nice, and since then we've been having issues as well. But this year they're on course as well. They want to make us to laugh as well. So it's a good thing for them. And we need to mention something. Perpetua Nwankwocha has scored 51 goals in 85 appearances for the Super Falcons. Now that is the highest. She's the highest goal scorer for Nigeria. Now that's all time highest all time. Even
for Nigeria.
In fact, the only Nigerian that has scored that amount of goal, because if we want to look at for both the men and women, because the men, Rashidi Yekini has scored 37 goals. 37 goals, in about 50-something matches for Nigeria as well. So that shows that she has been talking about retiring. She has been talking about it. But this time around, I think somebody told her that, come on, you have to play this competition.
And look at the way she scored the goal. Let me close to you as we wrap this up. He talked about Perpetua, 51 goals in 85 appearances for Nigeria. That's a record.
If you look at goals per game ratio, it's high.
Very good. Very good. Highest goal scorer ever in Nigeria men game, the women's game. Perpetua is a legend of the game.
She's a legend.
And you saw the commentator was reading out statistics: 4-time African Women Footballer of the Year, 4-time World Cup appearance, how many Olympics, Perpetua is in a class of our own.
She'll probably go the 5th time, to the World Cup. So it's a good thing,
Probably. But let's get your closing remarks before we allow you go.
Yeah, I think we should not get carried away. Like you said, cautious optimism. That's what it should be. I mean, there's nothing the Super Falcons will do that will be new. But of course,
there's nothing they will do that they have not done before.
Yes, but if they do it, it will make us happy. Especially in this kind of situation where we have a bitter pill in our mouths with the Super Eagles. And let's just be cautious. Like somebody said, it's 1 foot in Canada already. It will take a disaster of immense proportions if we do not get to Canada. I see the girls going all the way, but like you said, let's take it one game at a time. And I like the comments from the coach. I like the vibes we're getting from the camp, and everything seems to be working well for us. And maybe tournaments should be held in that South African region. Seems to always work well for Nigeria. Anytime, I told you, anytime anything happens in that region, I close my eyes and go to sleep. I hope that
look at him. As if South Africa 2010 did not happen.
All the nations cup, all the African tournaments. They have been played 3 times in South Africa. We have won 2 out of them.
Let us not jump the gun.
Yeah.
These girls have won nothing yet.
Yes.
They haven't won a World Cup ticket yet. They have not won the tournament yet. Let's take it one game at a time. And I'm sure a lot of you on Twitter will agree with us about that. But let's go on a quick break now. Let's remind ourselves once again. We've talked about the sweet part. Let's talk about the one that is not tasting too sweet, and that's the Super Eagles of Nigeria. All kinds of stories are coming out. When we return from this break, Yemi Adebayo will go walk behind the scene, and then Dumnodio Konta will join us. We'll take a look at the Eagles. We will be taking you to Abuja to talk about preparations for tomorrow's game, and we will also be talking to someone who has a few things to say, someone that you will respect, somebody who has been there. I mean, he's seen it all with Nigeria, for Nigeria, and is offering advice on what we should do ahead of tomorrow's game. A lot is going on as we speak, and we will need to talk about it. And remember that all hope is not lost yet. Our destiny, as Yemi said yesterday, is still in our hands. If we win our 3 games, as the minister said yesterday, we can still qualify. So let's not just, rush and do something that we will regret. Let's be calm and see how things unfold tomorrow. So we'll go on that break. When we return, Yemi Adebayo will walk behind the scene. Dumnodio Konta will be joining us on Sports Tonight.
Equatorial Guinea and Gabon were the joint hosts of the Africa Cup of Nations. Sudan now with a great ball in, great chance, and a great goal. Beautifully done then by Bakri Abd El Gadir. He's been the most threatening player going forward for Sudan. And the home side draw first blood against the African champions. Comes against the defending African champions, the width on the Sneer side. El Haq now has got numbers getting into that box. That was quite vital, but he needed to play in a great delivery. He did. And from point-blank range, then Al Ghadi said, thank you very much, and Yema got a hand onto it, but with the power of that header, a precious little time to react and come in with a good solid hand onto that. It's Sudan that draw first blood, and Nigeria that have it all to do. They can't quite believe it out in the stands. Tech they go once again, in no hurry. The referee glances at his watch and ensures that Sudan have a memorable, historic victory over Nigeria and ensure that the 2015, this AFCON qualifying campaign continues to be a painful one for Nigeria. 3 matches played now, the defending champions yet to come up with a win. Just the 1 point for them, bottom of the group.
Coach Stephen Keshi didn't want to get up from that seat. I'm sure what was going through his mind was like the ground should open up and he should just hide himself for a few days until this terrible storm is over. But we've made a quick change now, and Dum Nado Konta has joined us on Sports Tonight. Dum, good to have you on Sports Tonight. Yeah. Before we talk about all that is going on, I don't know what you think about the girls. I'm sure you have a few words to say, just in a minute, because we've talked so much about it. The girls are really, I mean, making us proud.
Like I jokingly said in the newsroom when they
were scoring the goals.
No. When some women staff of Channel Television were telling me
celebrating the girls. I said, why can't you guys just win like this?
Yes. I said, even if they close their eyes or they tell the Super Falcon to go on a tea break. I didn't say water break. I said tea break for 5 minutes.
Sip the tea, take a time.
The Zambians will equalize. I'm just saying something.
They were that convincing.
Yes.
All right, that's just to make you. That's just to welcome you. Now let's talk about the real one, the boys tomorrow. But let's start with this piece of news. I'm sure it's going to come on your screen a moment from now. The Executive Committee of the Nigerian Football Federation will be having an emergency meeting tomorrow after the Nigeria-Sudan game, and you know what that means. The high point or the highlight of that meeting surely has got to do with the future of Super Eagles coach Stephen Keshi. That, I'm sure, will be the major issue at that emergency meeting. I don't know, when emergency meetings like this are holding after a game, I'm afraid.
Well, I hope it doesn't drag on me to the night. Because I know this kind of meetings.
It's going to start after the game. The game is starting at 5.
The match finishes at 7. Exactly, that match will not finish. They won't hold the meeting immediately after the match.
They may start at 10.
At 10, 9 or 10 o'clock.
And I'm afraid of all night meetings.
All those night meetings. You know when the communique will come out. The communique will come out at early as 6 o'clock. And of course, you know the kind of communique.
You stay awake. You stay awake for the communique. At 6 o'clock. Anyway, let's go to Abuja. Our very good friend. Very thorough sports journalist, Ayo Olubidapo, is waiting to join us on the line from Abuja. AY, thank you for joining us on Sports Tonight. You saw Sudan in training today, and they said all that they were doing in training were dead balls and physical football. And then you also saw some people, rented crowd, they call them, that were trying to smuggle in some placards to the stadium with Keshi Must Go. Tell us about it, Ayo.
Well, the Sudanese are actually brimming with confidence. I must tell you that, Tony, because they are brimming with so much confidence. They actually trust that you can defeat Nigeria again. Very funny. You can understand that the Falcons of Jeddah, they call them, looking at the way they actually played against Nigeria, they are still brimming with the same confidence. And the coach, Mohamed Allah, was very sure of victory. And you talked about rented a crowd, really distracted and gave confidence also to the Sudanese. I must say that because with the placards really disturbing everybody. Keshi must go, led by a man who was sitting on a wheelchair, and they were wondering a whole lot what was going on. But that really ended the whole training time for the Sudanese, who actually are sure that if they play with so much, concentration and maintain, calmness, they can defeat Nigeria before, the teaming, hopefully, the teaming fans are who from the Abuja National Stadium doing. So that's it. And that's the drama that really happened today. I was wondering, even some of them, they actually had on their hands from them, and they were saying, well, we're just going to hold this, and we actually are holding it, and we're chanting Keshi must go. I think it's a bit of distraction to even see that just about 24 hours to a very important game against Sudan.
Ayo, what's the mood like in Abuja? The Minister for Sports, Chairman National Sports Commission, and the Nigerian Football Federation have thrown the gates open. So anybody that wants to watch the game can come. No, don't pay a dime. Come and watch, come and support the Super Eagles. Is that going to change anything tomorrow in terms of what the stadium will look like, field to capacity for Nigeria? What are you expecting?
A 60,000 capacity stadium. I don't know if you join me to go to the Aladra to pray. If the Abuja National Stadium will have up to 5,000. I'm hoping, I'm praying that it really gets that way. I hope that we can have up to 5,000 to 10,000, especially with the fact that the Eagles really have not impressed anybody across the country. So I pray, I just hope, I know that Sports Minister this is good office, to look at it all and say, okay, instead of paying 3,000 for VIP and 200 for the popular side, let's show this game, this open. I don't know if they've done enough publicity about this. I don't know if they think, well, Abuja is a different place when it comes to, having Super Eagles games. In the past also we've had it, the last time I think this back to one of the qualifiers against Tunisia where we played 2-2. So we had the capacity stadium to go to the game. But right now, 60,000 capacity stadium, after that day, up to now, we're still struggling to have 10,000 or even 15,000 at the Abuja National Stadium. So with this current performances the Super Eagles have turned out from Calabar to South Africa and to Khartoum, I don't know if that would bring out the Abuja fans to really help fill the fans, the stands. Looking at what happened early today, where we saw in Namibia, where Zambia lost to Nigeria, I hope it will not be the same case. That's my fear.
What is the mood in the camp of the Eagles, Ayo? Because a lot of things has been going on in the camp of the Eagles. The boys are trying to shut out social media because they don't want to be demoralized by the comments they are reading. What is the mood like in this camp of the Eagles? You have seen them. Are they fired up? Do they still have enough fight in them? If not even for themselves, for their coach?
Yes, I think Keshi has sounded positive, despite all he actually has faced in the past 72 hours after the loss to Sudan. He understands clearly that the job he took a couple of years ago is a job of hire and fire. So you should always be looking forward to removing the hitch when you actually are hired to put F. And that can happen anytime. You can be fired, and that's the job of a coach. So he's actually sounded very positive, and that's just a week ago. And a fantastic, chit-chat between the minister, the DG, and the NFL president, Amaju Pinnick, yesterday, I also would help. Motivating these players. They actually are taking it positively too, and they are bringing with confidence. And they know that it's time to correct so many things that have gone wrong in recent times for the champions of Africa, who actually have played really very poorly and dismally in recent times. So I know that, seeing them in the camp, they still are struggling with smiles, but they actually have done it and try to bring that confidence back in them. And we hope that by this time tomorrow, we'll be thinking that we really can qualify, and we hope that things will go right for Nigeria. So confidence is high in the camp of the Super Eagles, I can tell you.
Well, Ayo, we have to say a very big thank you to you for the very comprehensive update you've given to us on the program tonight. Ayo Olubidapo is a sports journalist. He's always having his ears to the ground in Abuja, and he's giving us a complete lowdown of all that is going down right there in Abuja ahead of tomorrow's all-important encounter. So we'll try to get Ayo to talk to us and give us more updates from Abuja more regularly on Sports Tonight.